Steve Wright here, Marion City Councilman at Large, along with the Mayor of Marion, Wayne Seabold. And Wayne, great slate of candidates this year.
Steve, it really is. The candidates we have this year are just awesome. We're really excited about the fact that a lot of them have chose to run again, and we've got some new candidates that bring a lot to the table, a lot of creativity, a lot of passion. You know, in talking to the candidates as they were trying to make their decision to run, I just got really excited about what they had to offer and their backgrounds, and couldn't be more pleased with the team that we're putting together.
Yeah, Mayor's role, having a good solid council, is very critical to your vision, correct?
It absolutely is, and you want people around you that can help you make decisions, make the right decisions, that aren't afraid to tell you no sometimes, and that understand where we're trying to take the city, and not get involved in all the political mess.
Right.
And so we've got some really top-notch professional people who deal with budgets, who deal with their own businesses in some case, who you know, who have children and grandchildren, who understand the importance of parks and building the city for our future. And so again, it's just a great slate of candidates that we are very excited about.
Yeah. Well, tonight you all have the opportunity to meet every one of those candidates, because we want to introduce them to you right now. All right, here with Jim Brunner, a guy that most people really don't know, right? You're kind of low-key in the community and things like that.
Yeah, kind of low-key in the community, Steve, like you. Not too many people get a chance to see you and I.
Yeah,
I think we're virtually out about 23 and a half hours a day. And it's one great thing about what's been going on in this community, and what Wayne Seabold's been able to accomplish over his 2 terms, the fact that we really have tried to make this a family-friendly community to live in, and something probably going on about every week. And like you, I'm pretty well involved in almost every one of those activities.
I know you are, and very, very busy in the community. And you've been on the council now for 4 years, right?
4 years, actually, and served a year and a half before that because a gentleman stepped off the council. I gave up my school board seat at that time after 15 and a half years on the Marion School Board. Now I've been 5.5 years on the City Council, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Jim is a great guy on the council, represents his ward really well. Tell us a little bit about Ward 3 and what's going on.
Well, Ward 3 is where we're sitting right now as we do this conversation. It's the northwest side of town. We've had a lot of beautiful homes go up on this side of the community. I've done my the best to make sure that we get all our sidewalks and get the streets cleaned up. In fact, our Rotary Club actually does a cleanup out here twice a year. But it's where I've lived since 1976, so I know a little bit about this ward.
Yeah, and as far as Jim serving on different committees, you're on the Parks Committee off the council. Tell us a little bit about the parks.
Really happy with what we've been able to accomplish out at Modern Park. The kids just love it out there. Very safe playground, highly accessible to families, and of course the gardens out there are absolutely breathtaking for people. You see youngsters, you see high school kids, you see people on dates, you see middle-aged people, you see older people just enjoying the beauty of Modern Park.
Yeah, and as far as Jim serving, he would like to serve another 4 years, right, Jim?
Absolutely. We've been able to accomplish a lot the last 4 years. To the north of the beauty that is now Modern Park, to the east, what we're doing with the Eastern Corridor and the beautiful new sports arena that will be opening there in the next year. To the south, the incredible expansion of Indiana Wesleyan University. To the west, the simple fact we've been able to hang on to General Motors and keep that viable in this community and add to the number of jobs there. And in the central city, we've been able to demolish over 400 homes and in their place put up some gorgeous new homes in the central city. Those are all exciting things, Steve, that we really want to continue that progress.
That's right. Jim Brunner, Ward 3 here in Marion for the City Council. Here with Reggie Nevels, who is currently serving on the Marion City Council in Ward 6. And Reggie, boy, it's been an exciting 6 years since you've been on the council, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your particular ward and what's going on within it.
Well, my ward, Mr. Wright, you see things are growing.
Yeah, I noticed that down
here. And I like to brag on my ward, I said my ward's the only one that's doing stuff. So, with Myers coming in,
sure.
And a lot of other expansion, even White Castle, and I kind of take the little pat on the back for that.
For the White Castle?
I love White Castle.
Oh, yeah. Just so you support them out that way.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Coles is coming out your way.
Yes.
But also what is in Reggie's area is the college. And the college is actually really spearheading a lot of the growth out that way. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, Steve. That's our jewel. You know, everybody, look at Indiana Wesleyan. If you go out there today, you go, wow. The old Marion College. no longer exists. It's Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Beautiful campus. You know, they are expanding too. So
Yep.
growth is very well in Ward 6.
Yep. Let's talk about Reggie personally. Reggie has been a family man here for a number of years and things. You also had a son who did something spectacular. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wright. Yeah, my son was fortunate to go to the United States Military Academy and end up being a captain, played football for Army, and you know, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Did you get to some games, did you?
Oh, absolutely. I went
How
to
come I didn't get tickets?
Well, we only have 4.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. But that's congratulations on that. I mean, that's a big achievement. Now, I know also, Reggie, you serve on a lot of boards. Name off a couple.
Oh, Steve, I wish I had a lot of time here, but I served on a lot of boards in this community because I believe in giving back. You know, and I'm currently serving on a community foundation, the YMCA, the Grant County Sport Hall of Fame. I'm also serving on other committees, Friends of Marion High School. There's a committee that worked together, try to get our school off of probation, and guess what? We succeed.
Congratulations on that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's kind of working for you, right?
Absolutely. It's working very well for me, Mr. Wright. And one of the board that I'm currently serving on, I forgot, is Project Leadership. You know, I was the
very
mentor,
integral part
for one of the kids there, and he was successful, graduated from Marion High School, and now he's attending college out there at Ivy Tech.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great, Reggie. Okay, so running again for another 4-year term. What's your vision? What do you want to see in these next 4 years?
Well, in the next 4 years, Mr. Wright, I like to see the growth to continue.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see Marion continue to get back where we used to be. Now, we're going to have some roadblock challenges, but that's part of life.
Yep.
You know, but one thing that I truly enjoy being a city councilman is that this current administration is doing great.
Yeah.
It's doing excellent. I have to give it a B+. I would love to give it an A.
B plus?
Yeah, I would love to give it an A, but with Mayor Wayne Seabolt, you know, we still got to keep pushing him to keep, you know, reaching the vision and the dreams that he has. In order to make
Let me
success.
ask you this, Reggie. Have you ever seen a guy work so hard in all your life? Honestly.
No, I haven't. And you know, that's a big plus
Yeah.
for our mayor. You know, you got a mayor, you know, that leaving this city,
Yep.
you know, want to give back to this city, and he works 24/7 for us.
Yes, he does.
And so, you know, we are fortunate to have a mayor like Wayne Seabolt
Yep.
here.
All right. Well, Reggie also works very hard in this community as well for his particular ward, and that would be District 6 for the city of Marion. Vote Reggie Nevels for Marion City Council, District 6. All right, here with Alan Miller, another at-large candidate for Marion City Council on the Republican team. And Alan, boy, you've been a fixture in this community, haven't you?
Sure seems like it, Steve. I came back from college in 1964, and I've been here ever since then.
Wow.
32 years at the Chronicle Tribune and about half that long at Indiana Wesleyan University already.
Yeah, now you have covered a lot of elections and a lot of candidates, right?
I have. Probably every election since really 1960. I was working as an intern at the newspaper then, so always joked I didn't cover the night Lincoln was elected. I was on another story assignment that night. So.
That's good. That's good. Well, now you've been on the council now for how many terms?
This will be my second term.
Okay.
I'm completing 2 4-year terms, 8 years.
And you're ready to go for your third term.
I am ready to go for a third term. It's been great fun.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things in the Marion community since I've come back, serving on boards. Of course, being a journalist, could never run for elective office. That was a no-no.
Right.
This certainly has been the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Always remember our good friend, even though he wasn't a Republican, Gene Lynn.
Yes.
Longtime mayor of Gas
absolutely.
City. Remember him saying once, the only purpose even to have government is to help people.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any better summary of what we try to do
That's
on a
right.
daily basis.
That's good.
Help people solve problems and make their lives a little simpler.
Alan, let's talk a little bit about why you wanted to run for another 4 years.
Well, the original reason I wanted to run kind of goes back to my newspaper career. I thought after 30 years of really monitoring, covering, becoming a student of government, you tend to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what personalities work, what don't work. People jokingly said, "You've told us how to run government for all these years.
Absolutely.
Maybe you should try it yourself."
Yeah.
And in fact, that
You
is
took
why
him up
I
on it,
first
right?
ran. It's not something that I would ever hold on tightly and think it's a lifetime job. It's an honor. I thought another term, I would like to serve with, I think, the first 3-term mayor we've ever had. We had 3-term mayors, but not consecutively.
Right,
so,
right.
So think we've come a long way. It's been a lot of fun the first 8 years, and I'm still interested in going along on the ride for another 4.
Yeah. What are you visioning for the next 4, Alan?
Well, I really think a lot of these things, you know, people tend to get discouraged. We pass tax abatement for industries, bond issues, and whatever, and I don't think people really understand that none of these things are going to happen instantaneously.
Right, right.
So I guess it's one of those things, the more things you set in motion, the more you want to stick around and see them come to completion, and be a part of the process if it still needs another bump or a little nudge or an adjustment of some kind. So I definitely think Marion's best days are ahead of us, but by the same token, I think the last 8 years have been some of Marion's best days.
I do too.
Probably since back in the 1960s.
There's a guy who would know, Alan Miller, running for City Council at large here in Marion. All right, here sitting with Brad Luzader, another city councilman at large. And Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born and reared here in Marion. My father was a police officer for 30 years. My mother is a professional tap dancer. They poured their life into me. When I was 7 years old, I started out singing and jumping on stage at age 2. And this year I'll celebrate 30 years in full-time entertainment, ministering all across the country. And it's really been nice to be able to give back to the community that's given so much to me. Yeah,
and Brad served on the council the last 4 years. And Brad, how's that been over the past 4 years?
It's been such an enjoyable time to be able to work together to see positive growth continue to happen. We've had our ups and downs, but I think there's more positives than negatives. I'm one that likes to accentuate the positives and eliminate the negatives and continue to move in the right direction. I think we've been able to make great strides with saving General Motors jobs here in Grant County, unionized jobs that needed to be saved. We've done our best to continue to bring businesses in to foster a community and an environment in which businesses that are here are able to continue to grow and expand, and that's something that I really believe in wholeheartedly, not just bringing new things in, but allowing existing things that are here in our community to continue to grow and flourish.
What about, I know you've served on several different boards and organizations throughout the community. Let's talk a little bit about that.
I've been involved with many activities, from church all the way through to civic community groups like the Exchange Club. I was the president there and a board member for many years. I've served with the Grant County Rescue Mission. I've helped out with St. Martin's, giving back to the community. I jumped in with the CSA and have done the Civic Theater, the United Way Board, as well as the Special Olympics. I'm on their management team and extremely proud of that, especially one of my sons is one of the star athletes that has succeeded in aquatics.
Oh, great.
And so it's been able to be nice and get involved with the Y, with the programs they've done with basketball and football. My youngest boy's playing football currently. And so we have tried to give back to our community, to get involved. There's not too many things that happen in this community where you don't see Brad Luzader, see my family, either my father, Tom, or my mom, Kathy, or my wife, Angie, or my in-laws, Ed and Rita Yeager. So we have just tried to pour ourselves back in the community that has been so good to me, supporting me all over the world. And it's been such a joy to be able to show up in places like Alaska or places out in Missouri and Arizona and actually see Grant County residents when they seen my name and come out to see me sing, and been able to do like the songs in the park and the concert series. And there's not too many activities that our family shies away from. We've never been one to sit back and let somebody else do something. We're very proactive and get involved.
All right, and Brad Luzader for City Councilman at large. Here with Madonna French from Ward 2, and Madonna served the last 4 years, right, Madonna?
That's right.
And Madonna, you've done a lot of things in this community as well. I mean, you've been an office manager over the chamber for a while. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been in Marion.
Well, I actually started working in Marion in 1977 and went to work at the chamber and did a number of things there. Worked there for 14 years. And then my son was born.
Okay.
And took a year off, went to work for the city of Marion under Ron Mallory's administration. and then went to work in the private sector, and then now I work for my church, and I've done that for 11 years.
Wow, 11 years.
Yes, 11 years.
Well, and being a former employee of the administration, you brought a lot of budgetary type things and things to look at, right?
Right. It was not as easy as I thought it would be, but I had some experience in economic development, community development, and budgeting. I was the director of community development for Mayor Mowry, and so had some basic experience there.
Tell us a little bit about your ward and what's going on.
Our ward is quite large, actually. It goes down to 7th Street, and so there are very different facets of Ward 2. And so we have the same needs as other wards, just maybe not completely throughout the ward. So we need paving, we need sidewalks, we need housing torn down, same thing.
Same thing.
Just maybe not in every area.
Yeah, and congratulations on already winning your race, since you are running unopposed, and what a great feeling that must be, right?
Right, Steve, thank you.
But looking forward to another 4 years with Madonna on the City Council here in Marion. Here with newcomer to the Marion City Council, seeking his District 5 seat, is Brian Dill. Brian, congratulations on throwing your hat in the ring.
Thanks, Steve. I'm really looking forward to this election and seeing what we can do to help out.
Yeah, you know, sitting on the council, there's a lot of different things, and I'm sure you've watched council meetings and things like that.
Yes,
but
sir.
Why don't we talk a little bit about Brian, and let's tell the people about you.
Okay. My name is Brian Dill, as Steve said. I born and raised in Marion, moved away for a few years after I graduated, but my wife and I moved back home in 2001 and have been here ever since.
And my understanding is you have 2 sons, is that correct?
I do. Devin and Duncan. They're 11 and 9.
And I'm sure that keeps you busy, right? 11
Yes.
and 9, that always keeps you busy.
We're always running to sports or school activities. And
Yep, I got
so
grandchildren, I can relate.
we enjoy it.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, I know you sit on the 4-H Fair Board. Let's talk a little bit about that and what you do on that.
Okay. The Grant County Fair Association is involved with maintaining the fairgrounds here in Marion on the east side of town by the New Humane Society. And so I've been treasurer for 6 years, 5 years, I guess, been on the board for 6 years, and getting ready to do it again for 2 more years.
Yeah, good.
And also do the advertising for the fair. I've been on the radio with Tim George and Big John in the morning, so maybe some of you have heard me there. And so.
That's good. Tell me a little bit about, I know you and your wife also have a business, correct?
Yes, sir. We have the Hometown Animal Hospital over in Gas City, Indiana.
Okay.
I built the building in the fall of '07, in the winter of '08, and then we opened in February of '08. So we've been there 3.5 years.
Great. So used to working with budgets for the 4-H fair, as well as operating your own business, and man, that's great, Brian. That's bringing a lot of talent to the city council.
It's a fun experience to be involved with small business. The human resources can be a headache sometimes.
They can.
But
they very well can.
It's been a very good experience. The people of Gas City and the people of Grant County and the city of Marion have been good to us. We have people that come from all over.
Great. Okay, tell me a little bit about your vision and why you decided to run for the city council.
Well, Mayor Seabold and the current administration have brought a lot of good things, progress in jobs, development, and cleaning up some of the blight in the city. So I'd like to try to continue, just bring things to help out the people in District 5.
Good. That is Brian Dill, who's running for District 5 seat there on the Marion City Council. Here with Steve Henderson, who's running for District 1 in the Marion City Council race. And Steve, you know, newcomer to politics, right?
Yeah, it's my first time out, and it's been a very interesting ride so far.
Yeah, so let's tell the people a little bit about who you are and where you came from.
Well, a lot of people would remember Runyon's Time Saver down close to the dam down there. I started working there when I was 15 for Francis Van Adder. A lot of people remember Francis, and that's really where I got my background on really learning everything about how to treat people, because he always treated people right.
Yes, he did. Now, you worked for Francis down there, and I do remember Francis, a great guy, gentleman, and good for the community.
Yeah.
But you also worked at several other places, correct?
Well, yeah. Probably the biggest thing in my life was working for Ford Motor Company dealer development, and that took me all over the country and in some spots. And what I did is I set up service departments from the ground up. They'd give me about 2 weeks or so to set up a service department and have it running in a new dealership.
Wow.
So quite strenuous sometimes.
Yeah. Now, as far as you also had a small business, right? So you've worked for a large corporation, and you own your own small business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. A lot of people will remember the good old NASCAR days, which has kind of faded away. But yeah, I had Pacesetter Collectibles right next to the mall out there. Very successful business. We did very well there. We actually had a very good draw from Indianapolis and Fort Wayne and a lot of surrounding areas. People actually drove 60, 70 miles to come and get our stuff. Yeah.
Now you're a race car guy too, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I love race cars. I've had the opportunity. One of the lucky people to actually drive a pace car around the Indianapolis 500, wow. And I've also rode with Johnny Ruckford about an inch off the wall in the pace car, so that's been interesting too. So, yeah, racing's been part of my life, but you know, I'm getting older, so now I've decided to give back to the community a little bit more.
And that's good. Let's talk a little bit about that. Why did you decide to run, Steve?
Well, you know, I've had this void in my life, and my kids, I've got 5 kids and I've got 8 grandchildren, and they're all grown up, and you know, I'm semi-retired, and so I'm just looking for something to do, and you know, I think I can give some helpful things back to the community. So that's what I'm looking to do is to give back to the community what's given to me.
Yeah, good. Steve Henderson, District 1 on the Marion City Council.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce a friend of mine, Steve Wright, who is running for his 4th term of City Council. Steve, you've been at it for 3 terms, which is 12 years, and you know, why do you want to run for a City Council for a 4th term?
Well, I'll tell you what, Wayne, it's been an honor to serve the citizens of Marion on the Marion City Council. You know, when I first went in, I really didn't know what to expect. You know, I think everybody can say that your first year or 2, you're just kind of learning what needs to happen. And, you know, you kind of listen to the other council members who are there. I remember one councilman giving me wisdom to say, you know what, you're going to learn something at every meeting. And I can honestly say in the 12 years that I've served on the council, I've learned a lot of things throughout all those meetings. But the main thing is you know, I've got a lot of experience, such as 20 years with the electric company. I own my own small business for 6 years, and now working for a large industry for the last 12 years. I've had the opportunity to learn pretty much a lot of facets of different types of businesses. And then, you know, when you own your own business, you really got to worry about that budget. Mm-hmm. And I think we've done an excellent job holding taxes for the last several years. And what we've done on the council and you as the administration working together, I think we've really moved Marion forward.
And I think you do a great job at really researching every aspect of everything that goes on at those council meetings. I know that you're not one of those council members that just shows up the night of the meeting and opens your packet for the first time.
Yeah, I try to really do a lot of research. I go into neighborhoods and try to figure out what's going on with the particular ordinance or appropriation that's in front of us, and just want to make sure we're spending the taxpayer dollars wisely. And you know, it takes a lot of time. A lot of people think we only go to 2 meetings a month and that's all we do. Well, we do a lot more than that. And it takes a lot of time to really dig in and do a lot. But I've really enjoyed it. I'd love to serve another 4 years with your administration and trying to help you take Marion to where we know it can go.
Well, we hope you're there. I'm sure you will be. You've been a great representative for the people of Marion and City Councilman at large, and we're very excited about having you represent us again this year.
Great, thank you, and I would appreciate your support on November 8th. Here again with Mayor Seabold. Wayne, boy, you got to be happy about this. I mean, you're seeking your third consecutive term, being the first mayor to ever do that. Congratulations, and I think it's great.
Well, Steve, I'm excited about representing Marion again. It doesn't seem like that long ago that we got started on this great adventure, and I just feel blessed to be doing the job. And you know, we've had some successes, and we still got a lot of work to do, and we're going to keep working hard every day. You know, there's a lot that we want to keep doing for the city. You know, we want to keep working on the infrastructure, keep working on the blight, but most importantly, we want to keep the job growth going, because not everybody's back to work yet.
Right.
You know, and until we get every person in Marion that wants to work back to work, it's something we're going to tackle every single day.
Yeah, Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it takes you a year or two to get it under your belt to really go after the mayor. I mean, when you became mayor the first time and stuff, I mean, you started more or less from scratch trying to dig in and stuff. I mean, it is very important to continue the progress that we have right now. Would you agree with that?
Well, absolutely. I mean, when you're the mayor for the first time, I remember when we came into office and we started working on projects, Ivy Tech being one of them. Ivy Tech was like, hey, we want to build in Marion right at the interstate, and if everything goes perfectly, we'll be able to do that within 3 years. And I thought, 3 years? We need to be here next week, you know. And all these projects take 18 to 24 months, as we've experienced over the last 8 years. That, you know, these things take time, and a company announces it takes them about 18 to 24 months. You know, sometimes we think it'll get done faster. It never really does. And so the projects we're working on now, we'll be finishing up partway through the next term. But more importantly, I just love representing Marion. I love getting out and talking to companies and to people about Marion, and why they should live here, and how great the people in our community are. And you know, I always tell people, you know, when I first ran and went to they had 3 days of what I call mayor school. Mayor Ted Ellis from Bluffton said it was the best job he has ever had, and I remember thinking, wow, he must have had some really bad jobs, you know. And but in all the things I've been fortunate enough to do in my life, with skating and traveling around the world at a young age, and being in the entertainment business in Los Angeles, and then the restaurant business here in Marion, and real estate, it's the best job I've ever had. Yeah. You know, you get to truly help people and change people's lives. I mean, when you tear down a house that someone's been living next to for many years, it's blighted and full of rodents and people going in and out of it, and they come out on the street and hug you and cry because now they don't have to live next to that mess. Right. You know, we've done that 400 times, over 400 times, and it's just a great feeling. And you know, you change lives in this position, and it's not something we take lightly. Well,
you're doing a great job. I've heard the words over and over and over. You're the hardest working mayor in Indiana, maybe even in the country. And I've heard that from congressmen and other mayors as well. So congratulations.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I only know how to work hard. Growing up in a trailer court in South Marion, we just always worked hard, and now to be able to do that for the city that I grew up in and that I love is just a huge blessing.
Yep, pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Thanks.
Well, there you have it. All the Republicans running for this election coming up on November 8th. And Wayne, great slate of candidates, as we mentioned at the top of the show.
Great slate of candidates. I can tell you, just to hear their passion and their desire for Marion and to move the city forward, we couldn't ask for a better slate of candidates. And we ask that you get out on November 8th and vote for a winning team. You know, a lot of people have perished in our time for that right, for our right to get out and vote, and we really need you to do so to help move Marion forward and to vote for a winning team.
Great. November 8th, vote Republican.
You're watching WSOT TV 57, Marion, with family programming you can trust.